Hello guys, welcome back. This is the final part of the Black Ops 2 ideas session thing. I don't know what you would call it. But so I ever since that there was like a leak, perks have a Pro A and a Pro B and you only pick one Pro version. Like I had a different style of perks. I had no Pro versions and cuz I figured it balanced it more, but I really like this idea of choosing a Pro one as long as the perk isn't too powerful in a certain way. And I guess it doesn't matter what the Pro is. But I ended up changing the design of that, so I just ended up switching a bunch of shit. I've been revising a lot of stuff, and been thinking long and hard, countless hours, about this entire thing. Not just the perks, but everything that I've gone over already. So first off, I'm going to start with perk 1, then 2, and 3. So here's perk slot 1. Grenader. This will give you 2 primary equipment, and will give you 2 secondary equipment. The Pro A will give you 3 thrown secondary equipment, so if you're using a placed thing, then I guess you wouldn't want to use that. But even then, placed stuff isn't really affected by B either, because Pro B allows you to throw equipment further. Then there's RPG, which will give you 2 rocket-propelled grenades in your special equipment slot. And then you can resupply from other RPG users as well. The Pro A makes your rockets more accurate. Pro B will make your rockets move faster. And then there's the Stinger missile. This will give you 1 Stinger round for air support in your special equipment slot. But you can also resupply your Stinger rounds from other Stinger users. Pro A will let you lock on faster, and Pro B will give you your Stinger rounds will move faster. Blast Shield will give you extra health allocated to explosives. You can survive Semtex sticks, and you will receive no effects from your own equipment and point streak rewards. Now, a lot of people think, oh, you get more health from explosives and already, but no. The thing is, Blast Shield or Flak Jacket and Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3, they only lowered the damage towards you. But I think when you have this, it should just give you more health that is susceptible to said explosives. That way, if you take a grenade to the face, you still, as long as it doesn't, do all the damage that the perk provides, you would still have, like, oh, I can still take 100 points of damage from bullets even though I took that grenade to my face. Unlike previously, it's like, oh, man, I got hit by a grenade. Now it's like, oh, now I'm at 80 health rather than what would I be without it, like 40 or something. So I think it would be a lot better that way. So the Pro A for Blast Shield, you get no screen shake from explosions. You are immune to shell shock. You are immune to direct impact grenades, and you are immune to fire. The Pro B, you get increased protection from explosive point streak rewards. The next perk in perk slot 1 is Sit Rep. This will allow you to detect enemy equipment, point streaks, cars, and explosive barrels. They will glow red and shit. Then grenades will have smoke trails. The Pro A version will let you reset grenade fuses, and you can switch back to your gun while cooking any equipment that you are said using. So let's say you pull your pin on your stun grenade, but oh fuck, I don't want to throw it anymore. So press your switch weapons button, and you'll go back to your gun, and you'll still have the grenade on you. Pro B, you can hack enemy care packages and equipment. The next perk is Extreme Conditioning. This will give you 4 times your sprint duration, and you can reload and use equipment while sprinting. The Pro A is unlimited sprint duration, and Pro B is faster aiming after sprint. So there's a sort of trade-off there with your run and gun type of perk. The next perk is Sleight of Hand. You can reload and call in point streaks faster. The Pro A is faster knife recovery, and you use equipment faster. The Pro B, you switch and swap weapons faster, and you switch to and from attachments faster, like a grenade launcher or your bayonet or something. And, yeah. The next perk is Warlord. You will get 2 attachments or modifications on each of your weapons, your primary, your secondary, and whatnot. So Pro A, you'll get 3 attachments or mods on your primary weapon, and Pro B will give you more ammo for undermounted weapons. Like, or maybe not grenade launchers. Well, maybe it could for grenade launchers, because then I guess they wouldn't be using Blast Shield or something, and they could still be blown up. But, yeah, more undermounted machine pistol ammo, anything. Perk slot 2 now. The first one is Overkill. This will give you a 3rd weapon slot, and it will contain any weapon of your choice. Assault rifle, submachine gun, LMG, you name it. You're still going to have your pistol secondary, though. Because I figured, like, rather than having your secondary be any gun you want, well, it's like, okay, let's say you run out of bullets in your primary. Oh, switch to your secondary, because it's faster than reloading. But then you still have that 3rd weapon slot with a gun that you want. The Pro A will give you a piece of equipment in your player proficiency slot, so like instead of dolphin diving, maybe you want a C4 on your D-pad down thing. The Pro B will give you 3 knives. That way you can still throw 1 or 2 knives and still have one left over to melee people with. The next perk is Hardline, which will give you 1 less point required for point streak rewards. The Pro A, each gun assist will give you half a point, but you must do 75% damage or more. The Pro B would assists from explosives and point streaks will each give you half a point, but you must do 50% damage or more. There's a sort of trade-off type of thing, or what kind of player you are might factor into which one you would pick over the other. The next perk is Scavenger, so the ammo bags will glow blue. I've always wanted that. That would be fantastic. But you can also resupply ammo from dead bodies, teammates, and enemies. You'll resupply health from non-enemy inflicted health. So let's say you like drop off an edge, right, and you hurt yourself. Oh, but there's a scavenger pack right next to you, so you pick that up. You'll resupply you'll resupply health from said fall damage, but only non-enemy inflict damage. That way you can't just pick up a scavenger pack while someone's shooting you, and you'll be like, well, what the fuck, man? What the flying fuck? So you will also resupply knives too, so that's good. Pro A, you can resupply more ammo than normal, and the Pro B, you can resupply shared equipment from bodies. So if they have a frag grenade, you'll get a frag grenade back from them. And the next perk is Tracer. So enemies, equipment, and point streaks that you shoot will appear on the map. Your explosives and point streaks will show enemies that they hurt on the map as well, and this will show for your entire team for 5 seconds. Now, Modern Warfare 3, I think it was 12 seconds, but I think that's kind of extreme. That's a really powerful perk, especially in Search and Destroy. But even 5 seconds, I think, is a sufficient amount of time. So Pro A, enemies who hurt you will appear on the radar for a short time, but it's only going to be for you. I think that would make it a lot more fair, but you guys can tell me what you think about that. At Pro B, it will make it last longer, so instead of 5 seconds, hell, maybe up to 10 seconds. I'm not really sure. That'll make it a lot better. And then Spy is the next perk. This will make you invisible to all AI-controlled killing vehicle-based point streaks, so like an attack helicopter or a Pavlo, but only if it's a vehicle. That way the seals will still detect you and all like that. That's why I'm very kind of detailed in that. Pro A will make you invisible to player-controlled killing point streaks and sentry guns. And the Pro B will allow you to have spawn protection from killing point streaks for 5 seconds. So you spawn for 5 seconds, you will probably be immune to something like a Predator missile or an AC-130 bomb blast or a helicopter, anything like that, really. But only if it's a thing that can kill you. Then there's Ghost, which will make you invisible to enemy UAVs, and you will delay your name tag above your head. The Pro A version makes you less affected by Tracer, and the Pro B version gives you no name tag when you are targeted. Then the next perk is Panoptic. I actually learned this one at school. Yeah, that word anyways. All nearby Ghost users will show up on the UAV. Now, this is only going to be to you, but I was thinking of several ways of how this perk could work. Like, if it's nearby, then it should be all ghost people, but if they're across the map, it's not going to do anything for you. But before, I was thinking, well, maybe it could be all except 2, but whoever shows up, it's based on proximity, so that way they can be anywhere in the map. But I ended up just deciding on the nearby thing, because maybe that would be more balanced for like Search and Destroy or something. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. It could go either way, I guess. And then the Pro A version, your air support will see all nearby spy users, but not nearby to you. It'd be nearby in perspective of your actual kill streak, like in a circle to your helicopter or something. The Pro B will negate all enemy ghost and spy perks to you only for 5 seconds after they spawn. So, that will help with spawn flips on the UAV. That's where I was thinking with that, because that was so annoying in Black Ops. I know that for sure, when there was a sudden influx of hiding from the radar perk. And at the same time, it helps if someone spawns behind you. It's like, oh, look at that shit. But there you go. Then the next perk is Marksman. This will allow you to detect enemy name tags from a further distance. You'll have less flinch when you are hurt, and you'll have faster ADS. But the faster ADS does not affect sniper rifles, and I think it should not affect sniper rifles because COD 4 didn't need faster ADS on sniper rifles. Didn't need it on any gun, actually, but I think it's unbalanced because sniper rifles should not handle like shotguns, okay? And shotguns should not handle like sniper rifles. So just think about it. And at the same time, with this perk, Ghost users' name tags will be detected like normal. So essentially, the Ghost Pro version of no name tag is completely negated with the regular version of Marksman. But not everyone would have Marksman anyways, so I don't see what the big deal would be. Pro A, name tags of people you shoot will appear to your teammates, but the enemy will have to be in your teammate's field of view in order for that to work. The Pro B for Marksman will give you less idle sway, and you can hold your breath longer. The next perk in perk slot 2 is Analysis. This will show the health of the targeted player or point streak reward when you're looking at it. And enemy actions are louder, and your actions are quieter. This is not referring to footsteps, by the way. This is referring to like reloading, the player, the character, like notifying shit. That stuff is going to be louder, and yours are quieter. And red dots will show the facing direction anytime they're on the radar. The Pro A version, your team's footsteps are silent to you, and your footsteps are silent to everyone else. The Pro B, enemy footsteps are louder to you, and you counter silent enemy footsteps. That way, you could only have one or the other, sort of. I think that is a good idea. And now on to the perk slot 3. The first one is Scrambler. This will delay nearby enemy equipment and sensor attachments. Semtex will not stick to you. Now, the delay nearby equipment, it's not just like mines, like claymores and bouncing betties, it's everything. So if a frag grenade goes next to you, maybe it will delay it an extra second. If a mine blows up, or if you run over it, it's going to delay it like a shit ton, just like it normally would. But grenades wouldn't be as affected as much, but they'd still be affected. This could almost give you the equivalent of toss back from World at War, except not completely. I mean, you could throw it back, so it's delayed, so you're going to be safe pretty much any time. The Pro A version, you can delay point streaks from targeting you. At Pro B, you can jam nearby enemy radar. And I was thinking that maybe this could be equipment as well, but I'm not sure. But whatever. Then Vest, you have increased resistance to killing non-explosive vehicle point streaks. So if it's like an attack helicopter, you'll take less damage from it. Stuff like that. But it has to be a vehicle, and it has to be killing with no explosives. The Pro A, you have increased knife resistance, so you'll survive like 2 to the chest rather than just 1. I mean, you would die to 1. You'll survive. Now, it will take 2 to kill you. Didn't mean to slip up on my words there. The Pro B will give you increased resistance to sentry guns and enemy dogs. So the next perk is Hardened, which will give you deeper bullet penetration. Pro A, you have less bullet fall-off damage over range. I was thinking that maybe it could be no fall-off damage over range, but I'm not sure how powerful that would make a lot of the weapons, because we know Call of Duty has a tough time balancing weapons. It's probably the hardest job in the world, insert sarcasm here. Then the Pro B is shoot through sandbags and other normally impenetrable surfaces, but they have to be a certain thickness, like a sandbag. That's a great thickness, because it is, because I say it is, basically. The next perk is Infiltrator. You have faster movement while ADS, you can climb faster, and you have no fall damage. The Pro A allows you to aim down sights or use equipment while you are crawling, because currently when you're crawling, you can't do that. It will just stop you from crawling. Actually, first of all, if you're aiming or something, you can't crawl at all, so it'll just stop you from aiming. The Pro B will keep more momentum when jumping and landing. That way, now if you jump, you can't jump as high. Cannot jump nearly as high. You're basically like, you're not even it makes you look like a retard when you're trying to hop around, but your character can't jump for shit because you just jumped. So this would allow you to jump more or something in a given amount of time, and basically you get that quicker landing reaction momentum thing. Like when you land, you can't really move right away from a certain height, but whatever. The next perk is Pointsman. This will allow you to capture items faster, such as like care packages, ballistic vest. No objectives though, just no objectives. You are not limited to one strike package when you are picking point streak rewards either, and objectives will glow gold and they will always appear on the map. Now the no limitation to point streak packages is great, because then you can pick something in the assault, pick something in the specialist, then pick something in support, or any variation of whatever. The Pro A of this, you can capture objectives faster if you are by yourself. The Pro B version gives you an extra half point and more XP for capturing objectives. The next perk is called Victor. You have more bullet and explosive damage to point streak rewards and equipment. The Pro A version, you get 2 point streak proficiencies per point streak reward. Pro B, when you destroy an enemy point streak reward, it will count as a point and give you more XP. So, the next perk is Mapologist. So, the mini-map will never go away. It can still be blocked by counter UAVs and stuff like that, but it will never go away. So you can have a map in hardcore. You know, when you get stunned, it will still be there. And crap like that. You know, whatever you can think of there. Enemies will also appear on the map with an arrow indicating whether or not they're like above you, below you. But if they're on the same level of you as you, then it won't do anything. They'll just be a normal dot. Pro A, enemy point streak rewards and thrown projectiles will appear on the map. Pro B, the map is less affected by counter UAVs and EMPs. Not completely immune to it, just less affected. The next perk in Perk Slot 3 is Keen Eye. What this will do, enemy scopes will glare, like they'll be like a big white flash when they're aiming down sights, so you can detect snipers from like a long distance or something. The direction of nearby unsuppressed enemy gunfire will be indicated around your crosshair. So this is in mag by default. This is a game that I played a long time ago. I actually fucking hate that game because it was full of grenade spam and I thought the map sucked, but I'm not going to go on a rant about that because that just takes up video time that's unimportant to that said rant. So basically in that game when you shot, you know, it'd be a little white mark on the crosshair where people were shooting from. But only if it's unsuppressed and they have to be nearby. The next effect makes it so you are not affected by decoy grenades whatsoever, and grenade indicators appear sooner. The Pro A version, nearby red dots from unsuppressed fire will last longer, and Pro B, nearby suppressed fire will appear on the radar for a short time. Not as much as a normal dot would, but you know, just for a little bit amount of time. That way, you know, suppressors aren't isn't this just all-powerful attachment. Because if you look at the attachments, in my opinion, dot sights are almost worthless. Always. And there's pretty much no reason not to use extended mags, rapid fire, or a silencer. There really isn't. But, yeah. And then the next perk is Warden. Enemies you kill will have no death mark and no kill cam, and they will be hidden from the kill feed for their team. So they won't really know if someone dies unless they're actually just paying attention. And this will also counter other Warden users. The Pro A will let you capture objectives without notifying the enemy team, as long as you're like the only guy there. I mean, if there's a teammate without Warden Pro A, then the enemy team's gonna be notified. Pro B, you are less affected by Keen Eye. And the last perk in Perk Slot 3 is Ninja. This will allow you to catch and throw back equipment while it's in the air. And now what this means is, like, normally, now, as it is, if someone throws a grenade and it hits you in the face, right? You'll get the grenade indicator that it's coming, right? But you cannot throw it back until it hits the ground after it already hit you. So you can just throw it back at any time when it's like next to you in the air or whatever. The other effect is you are less affected by secondary equipment. Not completely immune to it, but just less affected. The Pro A, you are invisible to sonar, motion sensors, and thermal. And the Pro B makes you immune to secondary equipment. So there's kind of a trade-off there. I mean, either way, you're invisible to like sonar grenades, but there's a trade-off still.